Good evening, Plum here, playing World of Tanks. This is on a test server, and this is one of the new light tanks at tier 8. This is the one that Germany get. This is the SpahPanzer RU251. Not sure how to pronounce that. I'm going to have to watch a few other people that speak German on their videos to see how you pronounce that, but I'm afraid I do not know exactly. We'll just call this the RU251 for now. And I've had a few games in it, a couple of good ones actually. It's a nice new light tank at tier 8. I like it a lot. You don't get a lot of choice on what you can fit to this tank. Basically you can just modify the engine and the suspension, and of course the radio. The turret and gun, what you get stock is what you get. So for grinding terms, that's rather nice. It's good to go out of the box really. Haven't tried it with the stock suspension or engine. As you can imagine, that would be a bit silly on the test server because everyone's rolling around 100% vehicles. So I have got it pimped out. I've got fitted to it some enhanced torsion bars because this is quite a quick tank and you'll be going over some rough terrain and you do not want to lose your tracks. So that's the reason for those. And extend my view range. I'll be moving around a lot, so coated optics for that rather than binoculars. And just to improve my shots on the move, a vertical stabilizer seems to be working out quite well. Of course the crew's all 100% since it is a test server, and in case I do get tracked I popped on repairs on each of those guys. Now the gun, it's a 90mm, which is comparable to a lot of the light tanks at tier 8, and it fires quite delightful, nearly 10 per minute, which is pretty darn quick. And average penetration is 190 with your regular armor piercing, doing 240 on average. So you got to get into your head. This is a light tank, but it's tier 8, so it's got to start pumping out some serious damage to do any dents on the tier 9s and 10s. You're going to keep drawing in matchmaking, and I have had a lot of tier 10 games in this tank. And unusually for the test server, the games are being quite good fun actually, because a lot of people are driving the light tanks. So you end up just having these duels with another enemy tier 8 light tank driver and a handful of heavies and TDs, but most of the team is made up of light tanks, and it's damn good fun. So we'll go straight into a match here and see if we can last a little while to show you how this thing manoeuvres. I think that's the basic draw of any of these tier 8 light tanks, is how they manoeuvre on the battlefield. You can fit your binoculars and your camo nets and set them up to be good scouting vehicles, but when the money's down on the table, you want to know how these things are going to drive. And I like this RU251. I haven't tried the Americans yet. They got a whole raft of new light tanks to play with. There's one there, the M41 Bulldog. Most people seem to be going for the T49, the other tier 8, and they've all been fitting the derp gun, 152mm, and you only get a couple of shots per minute. It's a bit comparable to the KV2's derp gun. Same diameter in the barrel, 152mm, and it is destroying a lot of tanks just simply because there's so many of them on each side. We've got a handful here. This is probably the best matchmaking I've had all evening actually. So this is going to be a light tank duel. You're going to be foolish to rush in because you're going to hit a lot of light tanks, I think, straight away, and whoever gets spotted first is probably going to get absolutely pummeled. So no one's going down to the south, but well, it's test server, it's not good. Some of the team have decided to go and do that. Alright, let's just pull up here, see what the gun depression's like on this machine, and it's not great. It is pretty flat. Ooh, ah, that was close. Let's see if we got spotted. There are so many machines on light tanks on this map that these things are just going to be flying around. Nope, just over the top. Look at that, should have waited, had a real sitter there. Where's he going to go? Ah, just out of sight. Go on reverse. Finally we get hit in on my equivalent tank. He is taking a pasting. Oh, just miss again. Is the FCM going to move up? Do some damage to his tracks then, no doubt. And that guy's toast. I think that's what I was talking about, not rushing into the town. And how are our guys doing over at the back? Can't see from here, just out of view range. Oh! We just take the back off the FCM and unfortunately leave him with 1 hit point. There's an intriguing new tank, the Russian T-54 lightweight. It looks just like the regular T-54. It's just a lightweight version. Now, so far the manoeuvrability of this thing is, I think, fantastic. It really pivots and turns, and it's like a baby. Excuse me a moment. It's like a. Oh, that appeared to go straight into him. It's like a little baby leopard. It's got that raised rear section, which just makes it adorable. Anything that's a baby version of something just looks cute, and this tank is cute. No denying it. So we've got quite a few enemy tanks over here. Oh boy, I've got to get into cover here. I can't sit and take shots from those over there, which is exactly what I just did. Don't stop, Plum. Keep driving. Ooh, get a nice shot into him. Alright, got to keep manoeuvring here. Do not need to get shot at by anything over here. There's the LTTB, the Russian tank. Yeah. Now I got nerfed by the very, very popular 152mm on the T49. I'm resisting having a go on that because it just appears that that's what everyone's doing. Just running around in T49s, whacking people over the head with that gun. It appears to be penetrating and doing damage, you know, much like you'd expect from a 152mm loaded with HE. It just does damage regardless, even if it can't penetrate. Now it looks like the enemy are gonna, I don't know, are they gonna get a tank back in time to stop our cap? Who knows? But test server's damn good fun right now because everyone's running around in light tanks and you just have these ambushes going on. If you're lucky enough to be on the team that's doing well and you're running around with a couple of other guys, it's like everyone's in platoons of little light tanks. And it's good fun. Well, they stopped the cap. It's almost regardless about the outcome, it really doesn't matter, it's just good fun to be hurtling around these maps, not giving crap number one about anything. And if you're lucky, you end up on the team that's doing better than the other team, and you have a blast. If you ain't moving around in these tanks, you're doing it wrong. You just keep driving. Let's watch them take apart this tier 9. Ooh, good shot there. VK, and many instances you just got to keep watching the battle because you'll find a moment where you get some big heavy tier 9 or 10 just surrounded by 3 or 4 little light tanks. It's very entertaining. Stuff you very rarely see on the regular server. So we've got our own little T49 left. Now that is also undeniably a pretty cute little tank. I imagine sales of any little models of this thing with that turret. The other turret is extraordinarily different to that. It is huge by comparison. A bit more like the older Chaffee turret. It's about twice as high and twice as long, and not that pretty. Whereas that thing is awesome. Looks like a flying saucer landing on the front of it, on top of it. Let's see how we did. Not that it really matters on the test server, but we're in the top half of the team, doing some damage. Let's go straight into another match with this, the RU-251. Bit disappointed, didn't do better in that match considering the matchmaking. We're now going to probably get a more typical matchmaking. Tier 9s, oh. You know, normally on a test server, when you're trying to take out a tier 8, all you get is tier 10 matches, because you know, that's the most exciting thing to do on a test server, is take out tier 10s, because not everyone's got all the tier 10s, obviously. It's damn hard to get all of them. But look at all the tier 8s. Look at all the light tanks on the enemy team. Look at them all on our team. This is exceptionally good fun stuff to be playing on the test server right now. If you can see a T-49 without the 152mm fitted to it, you can give yourself a prize. Because that's what they're all fitting. Every single one of them. Right, I'm going to try and not rush up to the front lines and get into it straight away. I'm just going to find a nice little vantage point and try for the life of me to survive a little bit in this battle to show you what this tank can do towards the end of a battle when there's lots of enemy tanks to shoot at. Of course I'm going to get spotted there. Only a complete idiot wouldn't expect there to be a tank there. I just happened to be the idiot that fulfilled the role that time. Get a nice shot on my equivalent on the enemy team. Oh, that was a hopeless shot, Plump. Where's he going? Whoa! He just drove off a cliff, it seemed. Right. I do believe these tanks are now distracted. Oh no, we've got plenty of tanks coming over this ridge. Ooh, shall I put shots into that object? No. He appears to have a dead engine, I think. Straight into the back of him. We get an engine fire, but he puts it out straight away. Outrun that shell. We get the... is that the first kill for our team? They've got 2 dead, but I can only see 1 kill on our scoreboard. Let's just try and put shots on this T-54 lightweight. Ouch, that really hurt. That was another T-49. He was probably firing the derp gun. So I've got a few seconds to reload and get a shot in and then disappear. Not really going to stay there any longer, I don't think. We're going to do a high five as we swap places. I'm going to go where the bulk of our force is to try and increase our power of guns. Let's repair my ammo rack. He's looking the wrong way. Boom. Not bad shooting on the move, this thing. It's fairly accurate. Let's use these rocks up here to maybe... nuts. There's the LTB. Ah, he's going to get me now. Ah, sense it in the wind. Well, we had lost that. We are totally overrun. But these are really good fun tanks to just blast around the map in. These RU-251s. Little baby leopards. It's like the leopards have had litters of little babies all over the place, and it's just damn good fun. If you want to get in some of this action, get the test server downloaded and just pick any of the new tier 8 light tanks, and you'll get matches just like this. Lots of the little things running around. It's more like Space Invaders at the moment, test server. Or if you fancy trying to shoot these little things, get yourself a tier 9 or 10 auto loader. We're getting some of these new pins. I had another match earlier in this tank, which I might put some commentary over, because that wasn't a bad game where I got some of these new pins. Fire for effect. Cause more damage to enemy vehicles than the hit points of your vehicle. Nice. And Master Gunner and Sharpshooter. How did we do on the team? We actually came top on that one. Cannot complain. So, let's have one more, shall we? Because it's it's really good fun. This is quite a good fun map for this, although we seem to have drawn a bit of a short straw here. There's an awful lot of tier 10s. Let's try and show you what this tank can do in other hands, in other circumstances, because this is hard work. You don't get a bad health pool in this machine. You get 1200. I think the AMX 1390 only gets 1100, the French tier 8 light tank, so you get an extra 100 hit points, which you'll need in this map with these tanks. So I'm going to do a bit of spotting at the bushes to start with. I'm not going to try and engage anything on the move. It's just, there's just too many tier 10s that can just hit me, and a lot of them can kill me in one shot. So I think we'll just be content with a little bit of spotting to start with. Up here at this lovely little bush. Just park up and hope no one decides to waste a shot and gamble that there's a tank sat here, and yes there is, it's me. Just see what happens. So going over towards the flag, we've got an object 430 and a T49, and I am one of these, and the FV215B. Feels like he's backing me up. Good old vanilla interface, no mods installed. Just how a lot of people play the game. Got to use your memory now to remember where all these tanks are. I don't really have a problem with a mod that shows you where tanks were on the map. It's as if you had a radio guy and that T49 radios in that he's got this tank in this sector. My radio guy would probably have his map in front of him and he'd put a little mark saying that tank's here. So I think they should include, you know, markings on the map as standard for the standard game. So we're just going to sit tight. It's a bit boring, I know, but I've got my eye on that centre road there. Okay, I've got one artillery. DWE 100. Still got a couple of light tanks in play. We've lost already. We've lost 3 tier 10s and 2 tier 9s. Wow, look at that, what a shot. Can't quite get the gun depression. I'll put one over there, you never know. There's one of theirs, T49. Is he going to come up again? My god, we've hardly done any damage to the enemy team. Pretty accurate gun, I think you'll admit. Those are quite long range shots. Let's see if I can just show a little turret. Be a little sexy with my gunplay. Oh, those tier 10s are going to love shooting at me. I don't want to go up against a bat chat. I think I prefer my chances against this guy. My manoeuvrability saved me. And we end up head to head. Yeah, I ain't afraid of you, pal. Oh, dunk one in the dirt. And we end up dead. But I had good fun doing what I just did, at the very least. Bit of a whitewash by the enemy team on that game. Oh dear. Boom! None of these light tanks last long once they're surrounded or outnumbered or outgunned. Your only chance really is, if you're outgunned, is to be you know, quick on your fingers and quickly come up with a new battle plan and get out of there. If you're outnumbered, well, there's not much you can do really. Well, considering I did nearly nothing in that game, to come that high up just proves how bad this lot were. All platoon mates at the top. So I feel quite good about that, coming top of the single players in that game. For doing virtually nothing. Accuracy of that gun was pretty decent though, wasn't it? Over some of those ranges. I was only hitting equivalent tier 8 light tanks, so it wasn't difficult to get some damage, but to actually hit them, I like it. So there's a few matches in the SpahPanzer RU251. I like it a lot. I'm probably going to be lining up to get one of these. It's just so darn cute. A little baby leopard. Let's put the leopard next to it. Get ready to see the cuteness. There's the prototype A. Switch back. It's that line that runs through there and then just dinks up and down, and it just mimics it very, very nicely indeed. Turret's substantially different, but aside from that, very, very cute little tank, and I like it a lot. Like I say, it's got a few more hit points, and I think it's got the most now of all the tier 8 light tanks. And I like the gun on it. It seems to hit and do damage, and it's fairly accurate. It's just my cup of tea. Anyway, I'll be bringing more videos from the test server. I'll be trying out several of the other tier 8 light tanks, as well as the new tier 7 LTTB. Here it is with this Panther-like long gun. It's not as accurate as you think it maybe should be with a barrel that long. What is it? It's 0.36 at 100 meters. And the T54 lightweight. There's a lightweight. This is coming up is the full-size T54, as you can see. They're almost identical, as you'd expect. There are some minor cosmetic differences. I think it's the shape of the turret around there. If you watch, that's the T54. I'm going to switch to the T54 lightweight. It just seems to move a little bit. Or maybe it's just the markings moving and that makes it look like the turret's slightly... No, it's identical. I'm sure that's identical. Yep, I'll be having a go in that. And the Americans, not the Germans, the Americans get a whole load of new tanks after the Chaffee. Tier 6, where's the tier 6 one? Here it is, the T37. Quite a nice looking machine. And two turrets that look very, very similar on that gun. And then the M41 Walker Bulldog, which is that one, and incompatible gun. Let's put that one on it, and then can I switch turrets? Very similar looking turrets. Put the big gun back on that, and then the one everyone's playing, the T49. That is a good looking tank. Cosmetically speaking, that is pretty. So that's the gun that nobody's using. That is the 90mm. Everyone's playing with that thing. And you can see why. It looks damn good fun. The amount of penetration it's got. With so the amount of damage it does if you can hit the target, because as you'd expect, it may have 910 average damage. It's only got 76 penetration, but it's 0.6. That's inaccurate, and you need it to be that inaccurate, I think, to balance the thing out. Do nearly 1,000 damage in a light tank at tier 8. That's putting down the hurt, but you only get a couple of shots every second. So that's just a very brief overview of what's going on the test server. It's this little thing that everyone's playing. Anyway, keep your heads down, drink plenty of water, and I'll definitely play again soon. Bye bye.